ACC PM, Thaddeus Matula just made it here. And the funny thing about it is I got a text during our last segment from my next door neighbor, Will Mackey. I give him a shout out in case he's watching. And Will said, Pack, are you expecting a visitor named Thaddeus? I said, yes. He goes, okay. He was walking my back driveway. My girl Jen just happened to see him, so we're making sure he has a good workout. So Thaddeus, welcome to the basement.
Thank you. I thought this set looked really homey, and I was really impressed by it. And anyway, no, but I walked up. I don't know if I would have showed up in the background if I would have just like stood outside those doors. But before that, across the way, the Lyft driver drops me off, and I was like, I'm clearly not in the right place. I hope I'm on the right street. But luckily,
would have been funny if he went into a different house.
Yes,
I don't know if my next door neighbor's doing a TV show from his basement. I doubt that. But nevertheless, you found the right place. Much like SMU has found the right home. Yeah. And boy, you have been, listen, I know you love them. You did the old 30 for 30 documentary, which was fantastic on ESPN. But to think where SMU is now with the opportunity and to take advantage of the way they've been able to, I mean, it really has been an incredible story.
It's a dream. I mean, I have been looking at this season since it was announced last year that we were going to the ACC, and I felt like this was a sequel opportunity, if you will, because the whole thing that's brought SMU back to where they are now is in a way what got them in trouble before. And now the funny thing is the issues that they got in trouble for are it's almost quaint now, even though we're only really short ways into this NIL era. It almost seems like, whoa, that was against the rules before. Why would that ever have been against the rules? But also, it's just the idea of seeing an opportunity. SMU in their history has always been about innovation when they've been good at football. They had a lot to do with the forward pass. We could get into that, but that's not what we're here to talk about. And the sort of transfer portal, NIL, and here we are going to the playoffs.
You're a storyteller, and if you look at this 40-plus year arc of SMU football, and just taking the last generation, I think of the line from Breaking Bad: growth, decay, transformation, right? Especially this last piece, this transformation. Being an alum, being somebody who's close to the program, what's been the most special part about seeing this program get back to great heights? Because a lot of people, and there's a generation of kids who don't realize that SMU was once in a power conference and was once a national brand.
Well, that's why I wanted to make the film, because I often say that I wanted my cousin in Missouri to know why that I rooted for this team. But like the most exciting thing about it is I look at we finally have a completely leveled playing field, as we see Rhett Lashley here. He's an incredible coach. We're so fortunate to have him, and he's sort of the perfect person at the perfect time for us, and I love to see we have someone that will grow with the program. But the whole idea of going through this journey through the desert, 40 years in the desert, and to come out where we are now, it's more than catharsis. Catharsis sort of has happened over the last decade, but this is just sort of like, I mean, when I was a kid, SMU was really, really good, and it felt like that's what was supposed to be. Now, for the rest of the world, that might not be what they think of as SMU, but for me, it's finally like, oh, this is how it's supposed to be again. I do remember growing up and the excitement over getting the newspaper to see, where is SMU ranked, and that happens now with Twitter, But just, I think it is, I was saying this the other day, when I was going to go to SMU, I knew that the football program wasn't what it was when I had been a kid, and there was a thought of going anywhere else where people would care about football and the football team would be winning. And I really made this decision. It's like, if I went somewhere else, I would start to root for that team. And I wouldn't stop rooting for SMU, but it might mean just a little less. And I was like, I don't care what I have to suffer through. I'm going to continue to suffer because I want to be here still as big of a fan when we get all the way back. And wow, what a ride. I mean, that championship game was disappointing, but at the same time, I think it might end up being just what we needed, because as the game started, it looked like the stage was a little too big for us. It looked like we had, a little bit of stage fright. And but then we realized, it was the Davos Winning Invitational. Of course, they're going to show up prepared, and so they go out and bad first quarter for us. But then we realized, you know what, we do belong, and to see us come back and yes.
So, have you already got your tickets for Penn State?
Well, I've been fortunate enough to get press credentials, so I'm pretty sure I'll have my press credentials.
Rooting in the, you can't root in the press box.
Rome Holtzman put that out there many years ago.
I don't know you at all, but I'm sensing that you are not going to sit there quietly for 4 quarters.
I am either on the sidelines with one of these cameras that I just walked in, or not in the press box. That's you will not find me there unless I need dinner.
Thaddeus, we were talking to Kevin Jennings at the top of the 5 o'clock hour. He's not aware of the history between SMU and Penn State. You've been a chronicler of this program, 1982. What's the backstory to SMU and Penn State?
Well, my Instagram post talks about this. This is the the start of the redemption tour, because Penn State was awarded the national championship in 1982.
How dare they?
How dare they? January 1983. So, Joe Paterno had already had a few undefeated seasons and had not won the national championship by that point. And really the thought was that he was actually thinking about retiring at the time. And then he ended up coaching till 2010. But he, like the whole story is that it was a sympathy vote. That's what they call it, at least.
Like the Stones' last tour.
Right. It's a lifetime achievement. Hey, you're going out, Joe Pa. Here's a national championship that you might not have earned. But
who's holding any grudges after 40 some odd years?
Oh, well, only me.
Yeah, right.
Right. No, I was asked, like, if SMU were to win this game, would it make it right? And of course it wouldn't, but the present is the only thing that's real. And so it's like, the ability to sort of move forward, and for people like me, and then for people that were on the team, it's not going to make it okay that they weren't recognized. The SMU is the only undefeated team in the country that year. And, it just wasn't, it's the same reason why they were given the death penalty, because they weren't a big enough brand for it to blow back on anyone that this was, a miscarriage of justice.
Yeah, but that's yesterday's news. It's all about the ponies now. And
yes,
it's going to be
you.
Cool to see how this thing plays out, not only in the next couple of weeks, but really now with this opportunity in the ACC and the money that's out there. SMU said, hey, ACC, just keep the cash. We're good. They raised over $100 million in 7 days. It's a great time to be part of the Pony Express.
Oh, that's the most exciting thing, is that now, all of these talking points that I always have, I can set them aside, because the now is everything. And there is no ceiling on what SMU can do, because they have the backing, they have the people who are willing to do what it takes to win. And in the city of Dallas, when you can offer something attractive to the some of the best football players in the country coming out of high school, look at Kevin Jennings coming from South Dallas. This is just going to keep going up and up and up, and it's going to be such an exciting thing and a great thing, for the whole city of Dallas to, embrace a college team for the first time since the Cowboys and Texans started playing.
Well, listen, we appreciate you finding the house, number one, and number two, we hope that you have a little bit more passion and enthusiasm for your school the next time you're on.
Well, I'll try.
Can't wait for the sequel too.
All right, thank you.
That is going to be cool. There's no doubt about that.
It'll be fun.
Quick break. We come back. Hour number 3 right around the corner. We'll head down to Tiger Town